Hello, Thrifting Atlanta. Happy Friday Eve. I love calling Thursday Friday Eve because that means the weekend is right around the corner. So, you guys, you've made it. You've made it almost to the weekend. So, my name is Corinne Duclosel. I am the founder of Thrifting Atlanta. We are one of Facebook's premier thrift communities. We've been around since 2011. So it's been almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years in December. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being the best part of this community. As you are tuning in, if you don't see the live button in the top left corner, that means you are watching the replay, which is perfectly fine because the information that we're sharing here tonight, you definitely do not want to miss out. Hey, Jersey Bling. So drop in the comments where you are tuning in from. I am here based in Atlanta, and I do call Atlanta the thrift capital of the world. Some people may disagree, but those who know, you know why Atlanta is the best place for all of your thrifting, your vintage, your consignment. We have some of the best stores, the best events, the best pricing. And the majority of resellers live in Atlanta. So that's my reason for saying that. But welcome, welcome, welcome. Tonight, I am truly excited to introduce you to a, ooh, sorry, a very special person. Her name is Melanie of Ruby, Tilda, and Pearl, and she is the founder of Vintage and Vino Atlanta. And they'll be hosting their very first event on Saturday. And I wanted her to come on to talk to you all about the event and why you must attend. This is an event that you cannot miss. You have to be a part of this epic event. So I'm going to bring her on. Hey, everybody, make sure you share this out and let your friends know that we are live, okay? I see you, Dolores, Jersey Blaine, Keisha, I see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So I'm going to bring on our guest, and I'm really excited, like I said, to really talk a little bit more about vintage and vino. All right, let us welcome Melanie.
Hey everybody, how are
Hey,
you?
Melanie. So Melanie, I know maybe the nerves are coming on because we are like a couple of days, couple of
Yes,
hours
yes.
away from this big event. So let the community know a little bit about you, how they can follow you on your social media, and let us know what inspired you to start Vintage and Vino Atlanta.
All right, thank you so much, Corinne. Hey everybody, I'm so happy to be here. I am Melanie McMorrin, founder of Ruby Tilda Pearl, and I love all things vintage. And so a couple of years ago, I had this idea to,
Okay, I think Melanie,
uh-huh,
are you okay?
can you
Start.
see me?
Yeah, yeah. I lost you for just a second. I hope it's not my internet. Okay,
I
start
hope it's
over.
not me. I think I'm good though. Hold on.
Yeah,
Hopefully I'm okay.
yeah.
All right. So again, I'm Melanie McMorrin and I'm founder of Ruby Tilda Pearl and I love all things vintage. So I had this idea to have this vintage show. I said, well, we can start off with a small show to kind of test the waters and see where it can go. But we are less than 48 hours away from this show that will include
Oh.
7 vendors. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll include 7 vendors, uh, including myself and the beautiful Corinne. We have Michelle Prince Payton from It's a Vintage Affair. We have Vanessa Loft Williams with Resale Threads Boutique. We have
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie Lundy with Lundy Couture. We have Dia Easley with Pretty Dope Dia. And we also have Tracy Rower, and she is a vendor coming out of Huntsville, Alabama, with
Ooh.
soul revival. That's her business, and she takes vintage pieces and fuses them together to create one of a kind
Ooh.
pieces. So I wanted to do something that was more fashion focused in terms of a
Mhm.
vintage event. Really bringing some elevated vintage looks. As you know, just like with today's fashion and contemporary fashion, it can be all over the place. So can
Right.
vintage. So I kind of wanted to partner with vendors who would kind of catch the vision. I've watched their style, I've seen them
Mhm.
move. And so I wanted a really elevated experience. And so this coming Saturday, the 14th, from 1 to 5, will be at the Eagles Landing Country Club for what we're hoping will be an amazing time. We're going to have some vintage and some vino, vino being a little wine, because who doesn't like shopping
Mhm.
with a little wine? So we'll have some wine and
Yeah.
some light bites. We'll listen to some retro tunes, play some trivia, give away some amazing things every hour, and have a lot of fun. So it's your opportunity to shop, sip, and socialize
Mhm.
with some like-minded folks and people who really appreciate vintage. Now, I want to say, in elevating the event and having it at the
Mhm.
Country Club has a little dress code. So we want to comply with that. So I have that posted on my Instagram. I'm going to put it on my Facebook page, but just looking for no graphic tees and no ripped or torn denim, which is all on trend, we know. But we're going to comply and do what the folks
Yes.
at the country club are asking us to do. So that's pretty much the gist of it. But I know everybody's going to be dressed to impress. And I'm just looking forward to seeing all of those who've already gotten a ticket. But if you have not gotten your ticket and you plan to join us, please go ahead on and push that button today.
Mhm.
It is, I don't know if we have the link anywhere we can throw. Yep, there it is. Thank you so much. That's also on my page. And if for some reason the link doesn't work, just go right on out to Eventbrite and
Yeah,
keyword
put the link in the
vintage.
chat. It's in
Perfect.
the chat.
Vintage and Vino.
Mhm.
So grab your tickets and we're just going to have a really, really good time. So I'm hoping that you all will come out and join us.
Absolutely. So, you talked about the vendors. Is there anything else going on during the event that you want to encourage the attendees to like not miss while they're
Well,
there?
I
Is there
think the
anything?
giveaways are going to be pretty nice giveaways. They're going to be everything
Mhm.
from pieces from the vendors' collections to
Mhm.
some things people have brought in that are a little different than what we're going to have there that day. We're going to play some trivia, so I don't know how sharp you are on your
Okay.
fashion and vintage trivia. We're going to do that, and just really do some mingling and getting to know one another. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. What I'm
Mhm.
hoping is that this is a very successful event and we can look to grow it and expand it next year and just continue with it. Let it continue to be the place where you come to find amazing
Mhm.
vintage. So it's kind of on a micro scale this year, very intimate setting. But we're
Right.
hoping to expand it as we continue to grow.
Okay. So are you thinking about doing it like every quarter, once a year? What
When
it-
I
what
first,
what in your mind? What do you want to
my
want to
vision initially was to do it twice a year, like changing
Okay, a
up,
biennial.
like do it maybe earlier in the year and then have like a holiday type event,
Mhm.
something leading into the holidays so everybody could kind of get their gear up. But right now I'm just focused on once a year. So let's see if
Okay.
we can commit to doing it annually. And if we get the traction that
Mhm.
we want, then we can look to do it twice a year. But I love a holiday show. I think vintage is so amazing.
Mhm.
for the holidays, and so much bling and so much sequins and so
Right,
much
right.
all the good stuff. And then everybody can get their stuff ready for thrift ball that you got coming up here in December. So
Yes.
that was the idea,
So
twice
it's
a
a
year. But right now, I think just once a year at the moment.
Let's see at the moment. Yeah, I love that it's in September. So it does get like those that are planning their outfits for, like you said, like the holiday parties, even maybe shopping for,
Yeah.
presents for Christmas. This is a great
Mhm.
opportunity to get some, beautiful pieces. So definitely if you love vintage and you want to come to an event that is really focused on vintage fashion,
Mhm.
this is the event that you must attend. So it is again this Saturday, the 14th, at Eagles Landing, which is a very exclusive country club.
Mhm.
So make sure that you get your tickets to come and support Melanie and her vision for Vintage and Vino Atlanta. Do you have any last words or any words of encouragement for the attendees that you want to share?
I think it's a great opportunity to, if you're curious about vintage, sometimes when you're buying live or you haven't attended a vintage show, you may have a
Yes.
one way of thinking about vintage, depending on who you're following. But this gives you an
Yes.
opportunity to kind of see it in living color, in person, try it on. Sizing was different back then. What might be a
Agree.
contemporary 12 today was probably not that when it was made back some years ago. Vintage is anything
Mhm.
20 years old or older.
Yeah. I'm
So
glad
it
you brought
just
that
gives,
up. Yeah.
yeah, it just gives you the opportunity to um,
Excuse me.
kind of see it up close and personal. But I will leave with why I love it. I love it because it allows me. I've always been a girl of ample proportions, right? And so a lot of fashion, contemporary and otherwise, it's come a long way for those of us with some
Mhm.
wider hips. It's come a long way. Fashion has come a long way, but I always gravitated to accessories, because if I could find something that I love to wear and I felt good in it, that accessory or that bag would take it where I needed it to go. So I always like to stand out, not really a person who likes to blend in. And I think vintage gives you that opportunity because these are things that are not in circulation. They're not, you're not going to easily go in and find them, although you can find a
Mhm.
vintage piece, here and there. But for the most part, vintage is a way to differentiate, and improve, kind of help you stand
Absolutely.
out if it's branding that you're looking for and whatever it is that you're doing, or you're
Mhm.
just looking to get those pieces that enhance your wardrobe. I love vintage for that. It can
Mhm.
definitely give you some different looks and kind of help put the cherry on top with a wonderful wardrobe.
Mhm.
So that's why I love it, and I hope others will come and kind of feel the same way.
Absolutely. I agree with everything you said. Vintage does it elevates
Yeah.
your wardrobe, and
Mhm.
if you're wanting to like turn heads when you walk into a room, vintage fashion is definitely a way. It's almost like a conversation starter.
It is,
People are
and
always like,
like
"Where you got them from?"
where did yeah.
And it brings back memories.
Yes, and for me, I think we all have something that we just like about the
Mhm.
space. And for me, it's, kimonos and caftans. And one day I'm going to start my podcast and it's going to be named something like that, as I'm entering this other era of life. I'm looking for the soft life.
Yes, yes.
Um, but I love earrings. In addition to those things, I love a statement earring. And I think vintage has given me great opportunity with that to kind of stand out. And I always get
Mhm.
conversation around my earrings more than anything else.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I was also saying, like, some of the outfits bring back memories of, maybe when you were a kid or something your mom would wear or your grandmother would wear. So that's also something very special that I love about, shopping for vintage or buying vintage. And it's quality. Oh, uh-oh. Okay, you came back.
Oh, what did I do? Go off
It's
channel,
quality.
sir?
It's quality pieces.
Yes.
It's
And you mentioned the
Yeah,
whole,
we're having some yeah, but we're good.
yeah, you mentioned the piece about, thinking of the clothing that we used to wear. And a lot of vintage you will see
Mhm,
is handmade. It's been tailored by someone who wasn't a big
mhm,
manufacturer. Not every piece of vintage comes from a big designer or design house. A lot of it was crafted from patterns
mhm,
and someone literally sitting down and sewing. And sometimes
mhm.
you'll get vintage and it doesn't even have a tag in it. Sometimes it's been removed, but a lot of times
Wow.
there was just no tag in it because someone actually sat down and crafted the piece that you're looking at right with their hand. So I love that as well.
Mhm.
So when I think about my grandmother, who was a seamstress and she loved to sew and do all the things,
Oh,
she's the Ruby of Ruby Tilda Pearl, and
yes, yes, yes.
she's the least fashionable of the three. She was a minimalist, but
Mhm.
she was a creative down to her soul. She made her own soap, make her own wine.
Oh,
She could
wow.
burn in the kitchen. She kept fabric. She could quilt. She could sew. She did all of those things. So I couldn't go on this journey
Talent.
without bringing her along with me.
Oh, and the other 2 names of your business
Yeah,
are
Matilda, which I shortened it to Tilda, and
uh-huh.
Pearl. So Ruby, Matilda, and Pearl were three sisters. My grandmother and her two sisters, and I tell you, they were tight.
Okay.
And so every Saturday, they took us out on adventures and introduced us to thrifting, antiquing, the art of finding a good deal. If it was out there to be found, they were going to find it. So that's why, when I was trying to think of a way to honor them through my love of thrift
Yeah.
and my love of finding a good deal, it was, very appropriate to name the business Ruby Tilda Pearl.
And Pearl, yeah. And this kind of brings it all together because you're sharing, your love with, with others. So I'm really excited. I'm proud of you for taking a step because, planning events,
It's scary. You
it
know
is
what
a
I
lot of
mean?
work.
It's very scary. And most people don't know this, and I'll
Yeah.
share this, but I got laid off June of 2023 after working with a nonprofit for 10 years, and I've been in marketing and branding for my pretty much my entire career. And so I got laid off in
Hmm.
June of 2023. And, what we all do, we get right back in the saddle and we get the career coach and we get the resume cleaned up and we start looking.
Hmm.
And after doing that for so long and getting rejection after rejection after rejection, I said, now,
Mm.
wait a minute. What are you trying to tell me here? So I just decided I wanted to throw myself into
Yes.
my creative endeavors and try to make some passion pivots, just asking God to lead me and bless this. And I really love partnership. I know many of us want to
Hmm.
run out and put CEO on the business card, but I love partnership. So this allowed me to bring other people into this. I so
Hmm.
appreciate you for lending your voice to this. As I told you the other day, I'm so very thankful for you and every other vendor who has come on board. And
Hmm.
I just pray that on Saturday you are blessed tenfold. That is
Thank
my
you.
prayer. Yes.
You. Well, I can speak for the events. We appreciate the opportunity. We are part of your premiere to
Yeah.
Atlanta, so that will hold a very special place for us to be the first, group of vendors to be a part of your vision for this, this new event here in Atlanta. Because there's so many. events, but this one is extra special. So
Yes, indeed.
thank you
Yes,
so much
indeed.
for sharing that with us. And
Mhm.
ladies, again, the ticket link is in the chat. You can also visit Ruby, Tilda, and Pearl on Facebook. Make sure you follow that Facebook page. She's also on Instagram. You can also go to Eventbrite
Mhm.
to purchase those tickets as well. And we'll see you on Saturday, Saturday the
Yes.
14th, 1 p.m. until 5 at Eagles Landing. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you again, Melanie, for
Thank
stopping
you so
by.
much.
You're welcome.
Thank you
And
for having me.
absolutely.
All
Now,
right,
ladies,
bye
bye
bye.
bye. Ladies, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, if you did not catch it live, watch the replay. If you have any questions, feel free to inbox me or inbox Melanie. And we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, the 14th, for Vintage and Vino Atlanta. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. See you on the next live.